Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Town Hall Tuesday here live on the Fox 13 Facebook page. I'm Bob Evans, joined with tonight by Allison Krogan and also Virginia Pierce, who is the director of the Utah Film Commission, and we are delighted to have her here with us tonight. You know, as Utah has been dealing with COVID-19, everything has slowed down. You know that. And the movie industry is no exception. As you know, Utah has historically been a hotspot for shooting movies and television shows and commercials. The list is long and distinguished, everything from John Ford's Stagecoach to Independence Day to Forrest Gump to Thelma and Louise and many, many, many more. But COVID-19 has brought about a new normal in Utah's movie industry, and here to talk about that and to have some fun with us tonight is Virginia Pierce. As I mentioned just a moment ago, she's the director of the Utah Film Commission. We'll be taking your questions for her in the comment section on the Facebook page, and we'd also like to welcome, of course, Allison Krogan, who's joining us tonight, and it's always delightful to have you with us, Allison. And we're gonna have some fun tonight, as I mentioned, by giving you the chance to test your knowledge of movies that have been shot in Utah. In fact, to up the ante just a little bit, we have some fabulous prizes that we're going to be giving away to those who can answer the trivia questions accurately and correctly. And on top of the trivia questions, we've got another treat for you. We're going to take a look at the Utah Film Commission's promotional reel, and I want you to pay very close attention and take note of the different movies that show up in this reel that you're about to see, because there's going to be a test at the end of Town Hall Tuesday, and whoever gets 100 on the test is, or close to it, or the highest score on the test wins the fabulous prizes. Let me just show them to you.
Can we take notes, Bob?
Yes, you can certainly take notes.
You can't use the internet though.
Okay,
No, you can't. You can't use the internet. But here's one fabulous prize: a Fox 13 water bottle.
We can. I can't even get one of those. So
I know, right? Yeah, I know where they are in Mary's office. So because I want to get this. See that?
Hand sanitizer.
It's Masked Singer hand sanitizer.
Wow, 2 for 1. Because hand sanitizer is a hot thing.
Yeah, super duper powerful. Also a Fox 13 Connect. You know, what do they call these? Pops.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a pop socket.
Pop socket for the back of your phone.
Back of your phone.
Yeah, don't you hang out with 13-year-olds?
Good heavens.
Usually you have it like right here.
Yeah.
Also, look at this. A fun pack, a KSTU in Utah fun pack complete with a mask and all kinds of goodies, a key ring thing, a pen, and Fox 13 lip balm.
Chapstick.
Chapstick. How do you like that, huh?
You are quite the model, Bob Evans.
Yeah, what can I say? So anyway, with that, so take note, whoever wins or gets the highest score on the on being able to name all the movies in the reel, and this should be pretty easy because Virginia, you put the titles on the video.
You take notes.
Yeah, so you can take notes. Anyway, why don't you go ahead and roll that video for us, Virginia?
Well, yeah, I am going to roll this. It's so fun to see, and I love to see. I wish that I could be with the audience because I always love watching the surprise on people's faces. There's definitely going to be a couple that you had no idea. And Utah has such a great history in film. We started in the 30s and 40s with, as you said, the John Ford Westerns, and Monument Valley became, you know, the it place. And so it's really fun to see kind of where we've come from there. And I'm going to roll this, and then we can talk a little more about it.
So basically, what your good movie has been filmed here in Utah.
Man alive. I started writing them down.
It was too much to write down.
Well, that's what I'm saying, But I filled up a whole page worth right here.
So cool.
See that?
I was so busy looking at the clips and just seeing if I could spot the areas. I didn't realize until like halfway through that you had it on the bottom right of the screen of where it was.
Actually, the bottom left, but where it was, yeah, because on the left was the title.
Left was the title, but on the right was where it was, and it's just Monument Valley is the hot spot, and it has been since
the 30s. I mean, it's such a cool story too, because John Ford was wanting to shoot somewhere out of California. I mean, before then, everything was shot in California. And he saw a picture of Monument Valley and was like, I want to shoot here. And he was the first one to really come and bring production to Utah. And it just started this avalanche of Westerns. It was such a popular genre at the time.
Yeah, and John Wayne shot an awful lot here too.
Yes,
right?
he did. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, as we are waiting for questions to come in to you, Virginia Pierce, the director of the Utah Film Commission, if you're just joining us here on Town Hall Tuesday, we've got fabulous prizes to give away if you can name all of the movies in the thing, Pop Socket and everything.
Bob, while we're waiting for questions to come in from the viewers who are joining us on Facebook, I have a question for Virginia. Is it okay if I ask?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. Okay,
so I was just thinking while I was watching that reel that a lot of those are areas that are very secluded. So like Monument Valley, I mean, you have to go very far out of your way to be in those areas. And then, of course, I was looking at some of the stuff from Arches and then down at Zion. And it's just it's small towns near the areas. So my question is twofold. Number one, where does everybody stay? What do they do? I would like to know the logistics there. And then number two, do the closest small towns see a boom? Like, does it help the economy when we have people filming?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And it's funny, we were just talking about Rio Grande, which is one of the John Wayne movies that shot here. And when they shot, so this was in 1950, they came into Moab and they actually had to expand the airport runway because they couldn't land these giant planes to bring all of the stars. They only had one hotel in Moab at the time and two like small motels. They took over everything and then had to set up tents for the extras. So for sure, back in the day, it was a huge, it was a huge influx. But even still, Westworld was a show that shot down in southern Utah. And in 2018, they came into Kanab for 2 weeks. They shot in and around Kanab and they spent $1 million and used over 28 Utah vendors. I was just looking at these stats the other day and it's amazing. I think they spent $800,000 in hotel rooms or $200,000 in hotel rooms alone. So it makes an impact.
It definitely does. I did notice because I went to Kanab a few months ago and I noticed, is that when they shot at the pink sand dunes?
Yeah, that's where they shot. And there's some great stories about, hauling all of that gear out and using the vendors that usually take tourists out to take the crew and the cast and kind of get everything set up out there. So I think it was.
I was wondering also, I mean, you answered the question of like how long they come in for. Because I'd be really cool if you lived in a small town and then all of a sudden you've got like celebrities that you recognize and bringing in money to the economy.
I heard the NAB story. Nicolas Cage shot a movie there a couple of years ago in the middle of winter. And they kept the hotels open because they needed them and really made their, yearly earnings in just a couple of months. But the whole town was like, hey, Nick Cage was at the grocery. He was walking down the street. Like he was just part of the community for a few months. So it can be really fun.
It is really fun. And Bob, I'm seeing a lot of really good questions coming in right now on our Facebook comments.
Yeah, you're right. In fact, let's go with Deb Hess, who asked, what film made in Utah has had the most impact on the state? Virginia, if you had to name one.
Whew, that's tough. I mean, I think I think if you're talking just sort of what economic impact or what put Utah on the map, and there's so many, as you said, the John Wayne stuff really got Utah started. But Touched by an Angel was a series that ran here in the late 90s, early 2000s that spent millions and millions of dollars. And, and still there's crew that worked on that show that are still in the film industry.
I was in a couple of those episodes.
You were?
Yes, I was playing an angel.
Really?
No, I wasn't. No, actually, I was playing a newsman, far from an angel. But, no, I got to be in a couple of those episodes, and it was
got a
a
Touched by an Angel story.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah, Roma Downey was perfect for that role, and it was so fun to have them here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Jen Curtis. What are most productions looking for in our state?
So Utah has, of course, our gorgeous locations, as we just saw on that reel. I mean, I think, the number one thing we have are just these amazing spaces to shoot. But when we, pitch ourselves to productions that are out of state, we talk about we're close to LA. You can get in and out in an hour and a half. So, you can have your execs fly in the day and they come back over, that next night. And it's also, we're a good place to do business. We are a business friendly state. We're a film friendly state. So people still really are excited about film crews. It's relatively inexpensive to, compared to LA, to get permits and have shooting done here. And we have an incredibly professional crew, the crew that has been around for years and years. And so they really know the way to do it. So I think that we've come to be known as, someone that's kind of a triple threat. We've got all of those things.
Now, COVID-19, of course, has had a big impact, as I said at the beginning of the town hall, big impact on all of our lives. What has it done to the movie industry in Utah?
So, of course, I mean, like everyone, the film industry definitely took a hit. I think everyone's just trying to adapt as well as they can. We definitely shut down between, probably March and June, but we were able to slowly come back, mostly with commercials and smaller productions that were able to figure out the social distancing and the masks. And really, we've been working with the State Department of Health to make sure that film industry is accounted for in their protocols. And they've been so fantastic in helping us get back to work. We did a recent survey, and right now it looks like about 60% of film industry workers are back to work, compared to where they were in, say, February, which is unfortunate. Like everyone, we're not fully back to 100%. But we're hopeful that we'll get there. It's just we're playing it one day at a time for sure.
How are we comparing to other states right now with COVID and filming? Is anybody really, I know you said we're starting to get back into it, but are we about even keel compared to other states as far as that production goes?
It seemed like at the beginning, we were definitely getting a lot of calls from California because they were still shut down all through the summer. And so we were getting a lot of calls about, you guys are looking pretty good. Can we come in and shoot this commercial? It was a lot of commercials. And I think it's been interesting for everyone. You can see now commercials that have been shot during the pandemic. It's a different feel to what they look like. And sometimes
or spaced out or have the masks on.
Yeah. And then, with our cases climbing, I think we're all just paying attention to that and making sure that we can still be safe. I think a lot of bigger productions have had to slow down for sure. The 12-hour day just doesn't really exist anymore. It's just, you have to pack so much in and clean and make sure everyone's got space. So we're starting to see a slowdown for sure.
Okay, we're going to take a moment here to divert from the questions. Well, actually, here are some trivia questions, Utah movie trivia questions. And you should know the answer to a few of these. Here is the first question. What Utah County location served as the backdrop for the infamous dance setting in Footloose? Now, the first person to be able to answer this correctly will get the pop socket.
Come on, let's see the comments. You guys know.
Okay, you comment people, you friends on Facebook. What Utah County location served as the backdrop for the infamous dance setting in Footloose? Come on, you guys.
You guys know this.
Somebody's got to know this. It's still around. You can still go see it.
I knew this answer before because I think I was around. There you go, Jen Curtis. Jen Curtis, you win the Fox 13. Yep, Mindy, that's a very good. Lehigh Mills. Yep, the Lehigh Roller Mills. Jen Curtis, you got in first, so thank you very much for that. Mary, if you'll take note, and Jen, Mary, why don't you pop on real quick and tell everybody how to get us their information so we can send these prizes out to them, okay? Don't worry, folks, there are plenty of prizes.
Yeah, so if you win a prize, just send us a direct message on Facebook, or I'll grab your name and I'll send you a message and we'll figure out how to get it to you, whether we mail it or you pick it up, whatever you're comfortable with. So I will help with that after we are done here.
Thanks so much, Mary.
Okay. All right. Shall we do one more trivia question real quick?
Yeah, get the comments going, people. We got to know that you guys are here and ready to play.
Okay, here we go. What Salt Lake City High School was featured in SLC Punk and Hereditary?
Oh, I don't know the answer to this one.
What
I
Salt
thought
Lake
you were
City
going to
High
ask
School?
about High School Musical.
Yeah, right.
Wow, that's an
Yeah,
easy.
we know it. Yeah, we know about that one. But what Salt Lake City High School was featured in SLC Punk and Hereditary?
We've got
Oh, yeah, Robert Kelleher. You got it. You got it. That's
job, Robert.
Way to go, Robert.
West High has been featured in a lot of movies. Actually, a lot of our high schools have. I mean, obviously East for High School Musical, and the Ogden High School gets used a lot. 3 O'Clock High for anyone who remembers that classic. And we've had a bunch of films shoot up there recently too.
Okay, Robert, look what you won. You got
Hand
the
sanitizer.
Masked Singer hand sanitizer.
That's a good one.
Way to go, dude. Okay. All right. Shall we do one more?
Yeah, let's do it. People are starting to comment and make guesses. So I think we've got quite a few people who know how. Oh, and also after this question, Bob, I do like the question from Christian. So we should circle back around after this next trivia question.
Okay. I'll let you do that. Okay.
Christian, I have your back.
Here's a good one. Which Salt Lake City park was the set of the carnival in the movie The Sandlot? Which Salt Lake City park was the set of the carnival in the movie The Sandlot? Come on. A little bit of a lag here. Virginia, do you know the answer to this?
I do know the answer to this. Can I answer it?
Yeah. What?
I want it back. I want it back.
You want the Fox 13?
Oh, Archie knows the answer.
Well, I do want to say, while we're talking about Sandlot, my dog Archie got to meet the cast of The Sandlot when they were here for their 25th anniversary. And he got to be, when we reimagined, we played a game of baseball. Archie was the Beast.
Hey, you guys. Deb Hess got in first. Liberty Park.
Yeah,
Liberty
Park.
It was Liberty Park.
That's
Another
right.
very well-loved film location.
Yeah, I think, that's just obscure enough to, Deb, how would you like
that is a good gift, Deb. Nice work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the water bottle, Fox 13 water bottle. It's only been lightly used.
Extra.
It's been hermetically sealed, as you can tell. All right. Okay.
Okay, so Bob, the question that I see, do I just click on it in order to bring it on the screen?
No, Mary's doing that.
Okay,
So
it's from Christian Pimentel at 6:51. How does one get a couple of seconds as an extra movie? So can you apply to be an extra, or how does that whole thing work?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that we answer on our film.utah.gov page. We have a page on our website for production, and it talks about what's shooting now and also talks about how to be an extra. There's actually there's a great Facebook page that posts, the casting agencies post on there, and there's an email website that you can sign up to get all the notifications. And I love reading them because sometimes it's like has to know how to skateboard or has to be okay being in their bathing suit in November. And so you definitely, there's some things that you need to be aware of before you sign up.
And that kind of answers Deb's question too, which was any tips on people who would like to be extras, especially people who are special needs, like in a wheelchair. So I'm sure that when they're casting, they probably have all. Well,
actually, that's a great question because we're always looking. The productions are always looking for diversity. They're always like, we need to get this out to more people. We need to make sure, they don't want just you know, they don't want just a fraction of the society. They want to see everyone in the background. So especially Disney is really good about that. They're like, there has to be a good assortment of different kind of people in the background. So, and sometimes they're actually looking specifically for people who can navigate the space in a wheelchair. So
Yeah, that's great.
yes.
Disney and Hallmark shoot quite a bit here in Utah, do they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody just sitting over my left shoulder, who happens to be wearing a red dress and headphones, is a Hallmark aficionado.
Oh, yeah.
Hallmark movie.
Hallmark Christmas movies.
Well, I think there's 4 that were shot in Utah this year. So
Only 4?
I've seen one of them already.
you have.
Well, I was amazed. They were shooting Virginia. They were shooting one just down the street from us here at Fox 13, and they'd put up fake snow and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was, I think, about a year ago or so. But I asked them, you know, what they were doing. They said, you know, we're from the Hallmark Channel, and I said, well, when's this movie coming out? And he said, oh, about 4 weeks. And they were
crazy.
They throw those things around like
so fast.
Really fast.
Because they all shot this summer, and as evidenced by the fake snow everywhere. And Christmas Tree Lane, I think, was one that just premiered October 24th.
I saw that one.
You saw that one. Holly and Ivy premiered on November 1st. The Christmas Bow premieres on November 8th. And then A Crafty Christmas Romance is on Lifetime.
I think I saw. Oh, that's the one that Amy Nay had a role in.
Yes. Yeah.
Weekend
Super cute. Lots of good, cheesy Christmas movies.
because I just moved to Utah about a decade ago. And now every single time that I watch a TV show or a movie, I am constantly looking for a couple of things. Number one, the first telltale sign is the mountains in the background if it's in northern Utah. And then if it looks like it's in Mars, like on Mars or like out west, it's probably Monument Valley. And or
Goblin Valley.
Or Goblin Valley.
Yeah.
That's a fun one too. I saw in that clip that you showed us. So really it's crazy how many things are shot here.
There are. I mean, I get texts all the time from people like, I'm watching this movie. Was this shot in Utah? I'm like, yes, it was.
Yeah. It's so fun.
I remember seeing Fletch, and
Fletch
was, of course, I could recite that movie to you.
That was the movie. We took our tagline from them. We used for a long time. The story is Utah. I mean, that came from Fletch.
Yeah. Well, and the fun thing was talking about Provo and the guy not singing with the Tabernacle Choir and all of those funny. And then, anyway, on and on we go. Let's do another trivia question, and then because we're starting to run out of time here. Let's get. I want you folks, our Facebook friends, to get your fingers ready. I hope you have been typing and took note of all the movies in the reel, because I have my list. I have my list right here.
Wow!
Which is right here.
I don't know if I even know all of them.
Sure you do. Sure, I'm sure you do. Anyway, so whoever gets the most gets the fun pack, and we have a bunch of these. And so we'll just send them to the top. What, Murray? Shall we send them to the top 10 folks that have the thing?
We had a sneak peek at an answer.
This is the one where you give them the answer and they have to come up with the question.
Yeah, that's right. Please make your answer in the form of a question in honor of Alex Trebek. God rest his soul.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to, since we're running out of time, we have to do this one. In the final scene of Thelma and Louise, what Utah location stood in for the Grand Canyon? In the final scene of Thelma and Louise, what Utah location stood in for the Grand Canyon?
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, it is classic. And if you don't know the answer to this,
I just went down there.
You might not win this.
It's been 30 years for Thelma and Louise next year.
Has it really?
We'll talk about it every time you're in the area.
Yeah, we're going to do a little special thing about Thelma and Louise next year.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll come back about it.
We're still waiting because of the delay. In the final scene of Thelma and Louise, what Utah location stood in for the Grand Canyon? Come on, you guys. In the meantime, for the rest of you, no, it's not Arches National Park or Zions, but those are good guesses.
Good guesses.
Those are good guesses. Okay. What in the final scene of Thelma and Louise?
Should we give them a hint?
Well,
Yeah, let's hear a hint.
okay.
I would say it's not a national park.
Oh, that is a very good hint.
No, that's true. Although it is surrounded.
It is surrounded, but it is
national park.
It is actually a state park.
So this is really fun. And while we're waiting for these folks to answer, tell me what is different on set right now because of the pandemic. Bryce Canyon's a good guess, but no, keep trying, you guys.
Obviously, and lots of testing. I think that has been the biggest hurdle for film productions, is that the Screen Actors Guild requires actors to be tested, I think it's every 3 days. So that is a lot of testing for...
We interrupt this answer to bring you a winning answer from Deb Hess. Well, I tell you what, Deb, you've scored big time. Dead Horse Point State Park is exactly correct.
It's so pretty down there.
Christian, good try. Coral Pink Sand Dunes, that's a good try, but no. So Deb, make sure Mary gets your answer. Go ahead, Virginia, and finish answering the question.
I think like everywhere, testing, masks, lots of sanitation, and lots of, there's a whole lot of things about zones. So only certain people can go in certain zones, and it's not the free-for-all that it used to be. I think it's taken a little bit of fun out of it for sure, but so has COVID for everyone, right?
That's true. We can all relate to that.
Yes.
All right, you guys, now is the time to hit send on the list of movies that you saw in the reel, the Utah Film Commission reel. And if you can come up with the same number of movies that I have on my paper,
good luck.
Then
yeah,
I should have took shorthand when I had the chance, but I did okay. I filled up the page anyway. Okay, we'll see how long this delay is. Again, the winners of this particular contest will win this fun pack, complete with a mask.
Oh, it has a mask. Nice.
Yes, it has a mask and a pen and a great prize. And a keychain thing and a notepad and decals to stick in the window of your car.
And hey, Deb, Mary's going to send you either a direct message or you can message the Fox 13 Facebook page. And
yeah, Mary's going to send a direct message to all.
She's great. She'll make sure that we get a hold of you.
So, okay, friends. How come we're not seeing anybody with the list?
No, where's the list?
Where are the lists?
They're still writing because you said there had to be 50 of them.
50. Well, however many got the most, I think.
I'm also.
There we go. Here we go. Chanel Lynn Zimmerman.
I'm telling everyone on Facebook, I sent them the link to our website and an email to get in touch with us if they have specific questions.
Oh my goodness. Chanel.
I had no idea that Legally Blonde was filmed here until I just watched that.
Well, Legally Blonde too, yeah. Did you just see it? It was on TV just recently.
Oh, I didn't see it this week, but I saw it in the thing that you just showed. And Was that the Capitol?
So and the Capitol doubles for the White House a lot, or like Washington, D.C. a lot, because it's got that beautiful facade.
It is, our Capitol is stunning.
Yeah, so that's fun. And I just heard they're doing 3, so maybe they'll come back. Who knows?
Wow.
I know. Reese posted that.
Is she going to be in the 3rd one?
Yeah, she tweeted about it, I think, or on Instagram.
Cool. That's great.
8, 9, 10.
Is there a restaurant that anybody, or like a local place that anybody raves about that you ever hear about? Like, we want to come back because like we love like Cafe Rio sweet pork salad or something?
Well, it's always really random because we ask, how was your experience? And we do a little post-production survey. And I always think there's going to be one consistent thing, but it's like oh, I love Crown Burger, or oh, I loved, then it can be super high end. Like I love Market Street. I mean, it's all over the place. I never can predict what people are gonna, what to go to.
That's awesome.
Okay, Mary, you're gonna have to direct message Chanel Lynn Zimmerman. She has 30.
Ooh.
30 listed on her thing. Does anybody have any better than that? Come on. Remember what you're fighting for, folks.
30 movies on there? Wow. Still a lot.
30.
How
Not
many
dirty.
do you have, Bob?
Not dirty. 30. Yeah, let me see. Well, I don't know how many I have. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Bob's
5,
gunning
6,
for the gifts too.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I've got 27. So I come in second.
Oh, good job.
Virginia, I have another question. Sorry,
Okay.
I have a million questions for you, and I know we're running out of time soon. But how come, like when I'm watching a movie, for instance, I was watching one of the Christmas movies that was filmed here, and like I knew people in it, I recognized it was parts of Utah. Then how come they're like, oh, we're in like that? They talk about Denver, like they say like what's the point? Because it would be too many movies that you say you're in Salt Lake for. Or?
I think sometimes it works for content and sometimes it doesn't. Like the first High School Musical was set in Albuquerque, but then when they came back to do High School Musical, the series, it's now in Utah, which I loved. But it just sometimes it works and sometimes we really push them to make sure that they mention Utah if they can, because it's always more fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
Well,
that's
listen.
not Denver. I recognize that bill. I see the Walker Center Tower right now.
Well, I tell you what, it's time to wrap up, and even though we haven't had anybody in this live feed, we're going to keep an eye on the feed as this gets posted on the website. And for those of you who are dying to get some Fox 13 chapstick, I know where there is a huge stash of these. And so all you got to do is request Mary very nicely. Mary Rice will directly contact you over Facebook if you want one of those. And for our top 10 winners who named all of the movies, we will send these out to you. Mary will direct message you on your list. And for the rest of you who took part in our trivia questions, thank you so much for participating. This isn't the normal Town Hall Tuesday format that we do. But I think, yeah, we had a lot more fun. And Virginia, you've made it just delightful, and we thank you so much. As we wrap up this Town Hall Tuesday, will you please keep in mind, my dear fellow Utahns and friends elsewhere, that your local communities need your help and your support. The movie industry is no different. I mean, pay attention to the things that are shot here and that are produced by Utah, and support our local communities through this pandemic. It means absolutely everything. We had a story last night on Fox 13 News at 9 about a restaurant that was on the brink of closing down, an iconic and treasured community gem. And when the community heard about that, boy, the calls came in and they just inundated the restaurant with orders and that kind of thing. We need your help to maintain some semblance of normalcy here in Utah and elsewhere. And if you're watching us from a different location, please support your local businesses and your local companies and the folks who serve you in your communities. Virginia, do you have any final words for us as we wrap up Town Hall Tuesday?
Yeah, keep an eye on your screen. You might see Utah when you least expect it.
I love it. This was so much fun. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, and thank you for allowing me to join the two of you tonight for Town Hall.
So fun. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Allison, and all the rest of you. We will see you tonight on Fox 13 News at 9. Have a happy night.
See you there.
See ya.